You know what I'm tired of seeing? Self-proclaimed Christians choosing hate and choosing shame. Born again Christians who would rather avoid the truth and realities, the horrors and atrocities that are happening in our world. They would rather turn their face, put their head in the sand, or say thoughts and prayers. I can't even imagine how low the numbers are of people who say that and don't and actually stop and pray. Actually pray. Oh, prayers to you, thoughts and prayers. And I'm guilty of it. Oh wow, prayers sent up. But that was my whole prayer is, oh God, consider this person. It's not enough. As an empathetic person, I've always sort of felt the pain of others, and sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse. But I feel like for generations now, we've been programmed to like wipe out our own humanity and our empathy and our compassion and our awareness. Everything is, ready made and quick, and there's so much content that we're consuming all the time, and we just become numb and we become desensitized, and things that are horrible become normal. And the people who are supposed to be empathetic and compassionate and making a difference and changing things are the freaking Christians, are the freaking people who are in church every Sunday judging other people for not being as righteous as they think they are. Oh, our country is funding genocide against so many innocent women, men, children, schools, hospitals. I don't want to think about it either. I don't want to look at that truth. It makes me very uncomfy. But it would be unchristian of me. Not that I even associate with that title anymore at this point. It would be ungodly of me to turn away and avoid that truth. And I feel powerless to do anything about it. Our government, our leaders, they don't care. They're not listening to us. I feel helpless in many ways, but I refuse to become numb. The child sex trafficking in this country is astronomical, and not just random rich people far away, not just, random people that are, have these fetishes and they're just off over there in the shadows. Like, no, it's like on a government level. It's at such a deep, huge level. These babies are having their bodies and their lives taken away from them. And we don't want to think about it. And so we don't. And we don't talk about it. And we allow society to become more and more desensitized and continue to sexualize children and continue to confuse children. And we're not protecting them because we're not holding people accountable. Do you know how many disgusting stories about children being sexually assaulted by church members or by their fathers who are within the church leadership? More than I ever want to know or acknowledge. But it runs rampant, and you know what happens? Those people almost never get arrested, almost never even get thrown out of the church. At most, they'll get moved to another congregation to then abuse. Within the church. Do y'all think that God is okay with this? If you really believed in God, you would be terrified. You would be so scared, because the wrath and the judgment of God will fall upon those who have claimed his name first and foremost and most of all. You're keeping it quiet. You're keeping the peace. You don't want to draw attention to some horrible thing, and so you make these children suppress it and make excuse for it and apologize for it as if it had anything to do with them, and you call yourself a servant of God. I'm sick of it. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to feel it. We sing songs in church about God, break my heart for what breaks yours. Be careful with that prayer. Because once you look, you can't unsee it. And your heart will catch on fire, and you will feel it shut up in your bones, and you won't be able to not seek justice. You won't be able to stop talking about it and making everyone else uncomfortable with the truth. It says in the Bible that God's version of religion, if you ask God what religion is supposed to look like, it says taking care of the orphans and the widows, of those falsely imprisoned, of the captives, of the slaves. Taking care of them, seeking justice for them, having mercy on them. That is religion according to literally God. And the commands of God, of Yeshua, of Jesus Christ, the main commands, when he said, if you do this, don't even worry about the rest of the law because you're doing it. You know what it was? Was it condemn people, convince them that they're wrong, get up there and defend God, shame people, abuse them into being the version of Christian that you think they should be? No, it was love. They will know my disciples by their love. By their love. Why are y'all operating in hate and shame? How are you just going to raise kids up in shame and fear and control? That is not of God. He's not pleased. And there will be a day. There will be a day when we have to have a reckoning for everything that we have said and done and denied and neglected. And if you consider yourself Christian, Muslim, Catholic, whatever, Jewish, whatever, you're considering yourself that in a faith and in a spiritual way, and you are disassociating completely from what is happening on earth right now, and you allow the church to hush abuse and bad behavior, and you support these causes that are based in hatred, sprinkled with some biblical truths and surrounded by hatred and shame, and you buy into that and you feed into that and you spread that. Challenge yourself to be uncomfortable in this season, because you were born and living on earth during this time and this season because God placed you here. You don't get to just not be a part of the worldwide breakdown and revolution and expansion that is happening right now. You don't get to opt out, especially if you are a disciple of the light. This is the darkest times we've ever seen, and you think you can hide your light? You think it doesn't hurt to burn and be a light? It hurts. Long suffering is a fruit of the Spirit. Be uncomfortable. Because if we don't start shaking and breaking down the walls of the structures of society as they are right now, if we don't start rising up as the true remnant of the living God and start changing the way that we on a personal level interact with the world around us and the horrors that do persist, I promise you, you will fall under the wrath of God. Much more than those sinners who you're saying, oh, well, they're gay. Oh, well, they smoke cigarettes. Oh, well, they, show up to church in ripped up holy jeans. Are you kidding me? God is looking at you, not them. Seek justice, love mercy. They will know us by our love. May everything you do be done in love. Look at the horrors and pray about them. Over here I have my prayer board, and on it I have the different envelopes of the different areas of prayer. One is, my family, my friends, my health, my finances. But I have country leaders, I have the poor and needy, and I have addiction, those who are suffering through addiction, because I feel like that is also something that we just don't want to look at. We don't want to talk about. We let the stigma be there, and we over spiritualize it and say, well, we'll just pray about it. It's probably a demon. We'll just, ignore it or blame it on the devil and not have to take action. And so I've started to challenge myself, and I put that up so I would remember to pray regularly. Pray for Israel. Pray for our leaders. Pray for your pastors. Pray for your friends, for your loved ones. Pray for yourself. Pray protection in these times. Pray wisdom and discernment in these times. Pray, get in your word, do something different to shake up the comfortability and the desensitization and the numbness. Shake it off and seek justice, love, mercy, speak up, act different, love. God, bring us back to love. Bring us back to our divinity, that we can shine our light into the world and make a difference. For this is not how you have planned for things to be. And it is time for your miracle signs and wonders to change the landscape of life as we know it in these times. Strengthen us, God, and give us the courage to look life in the face and choose love and choose light and often choose discomfort. Be encouraged.